I appreciate
Here's
your
the good
research.
news.
What planet did you just, wait a minute, Mr. Chairman, what planet did you just parachute in from?
No. Hey, guys.
You trigger my gag reflex.
When a witness at a Senate hearing accused Republicans of supporting something as extreme as ethnic cleansing, Senator John Kennedy did not let it slide. What happened next turned into one of the most heated exchanges we have seen in a congressional hearing this year. By the end of the moment, Kennedy delivered a line that stunned the room. What planet did you just parachute in from? If you want to see more coverage breaking down major moments like this from Washington, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it.
Thank you, Senator Kennedy.
Secretary Wolf, thank you for your service. Why, in your opinion, do so many, not all, but so many of my Democratic colleagues believe in open borders?
Well, that's a good question. I think it's a couple of different fronts. One, it would be they don't believe in immigration law. They don't like enforcement. They don't like removing of individuals. And they believe that there are some that believe that anyone and everyone should be able to come to the U.S., whether they apply for protections under U.S. law or not. And then there's some probably that would like to see more voters in the U.S. as well.
Ms. Vaughn, some of my colleagues, for whom I have great respect, believe that the 10th Amendment allows local governments to ignore federal immigration law and implement sanctuary policy. The Supreme Court has ruled that racial quotas represent a pernicious form of racial discrimination. Can local governments ignore that ruling under the 10th Amendment?
Well, the 10th Amendment is about...
Can just answer my question, please, ma'am.
The 10th Amendment is about commandeering, and so it's not really appropriate to this because...
Is the answer yes or no, ma'am?
Could you ask me again? Because I don't understand the relevance to... I'm sorry, I don't... Because ICE is not asking them
Secretary Wolf, you heard my question. Under the guise of the 10th Amendment, can local governments ignore a Supreme Court ruling?
I don't believe they can.
Okay. Women have the right to vote in America by statute and by constitutional interpretation. Under the guise of the 10th Amendment, can local governments just ignore that and prohibit women from voting?
No.
Okay. Mr. Duke, you worked for President Biden and Vice President Harris, didn't you?
Yes.
And I listened carefully to your testimony today. You expressed, well, you offered the opinion that the One Big Beautiful Bill is terrible in part because it will cause deficits. Is that right?
Yes.
Isn't it a fact that the profligacy of President Biden caused 9% inflation in America?
No.
Okay. Isn't it a fact that if President Biden had discovered life on Mars when he was president, he would have immediately sent it money?
I don't believe so.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Well, I appreciate your newly found fiscal conservatism.
The exchange happened during a Senate hearing focused on immigration policy and federal enforcement. Senator Kennedy began by questioning witnesses about a topic that has dominated national debate: border security and immigration enforcement in the United States. Kennedy first directed his questions to former Department of Homeland Security official Chad Wolf, asking why many Democrats appear to support more permissive immigration policies. Wolf responded that some lawmakers oppose strict enforcement of immigration law and the removal of individuals who enter the country illegally. Others, he suggested, may support broader immigration policies for political or ideological reasons. From there, Kennedy shifted the discussion to the Constitution and the limits of local authority. He raised questions about sanctuary policies and whether local governments can ignore federal immigration law under the 10th Amendment. Kennedy pressed a witness to answer a simple question: Can local governments ignore Supreme Court rulings by citing the 10th Amendment? The witness attempted to explain the legal nuances of federalism and the anti-commandeering doctrine, but Kennedy repeatedly pushed for a direct yes or no. Ultimately, the point Kennedy was making was straightforward. In his view, the Constitution does not allow local governments to simply disregard federal law or Supreme Court decisions when they disagree with them. To illustrate the point, Kennedy used a clear example. Women's right to vote in the United States is protected by law and constitutional interpretation. Under that logic, Kennedy argued, no local government could simply decide to ignore those rights by invoking the 10th Amendment. The hearing then turned toward economic policy. Kennedy questioned another witness who had worked in the Biden administration. The witness criticized a proposed spending bill, arguing it could contribute to larger federal deficit. Kennedy responded by challenging that criticism, pointing to the inflation surge Americans experienced in recent years. In a moment of sharp sarcasm that drew laughter in the room, Kennedy joked that if President Biden had discovered life on Mars while in office, he would have immediately sent it money. But the most intense moment of the hearing came when Kennedy confronted another witness about statements posted on social media.
Mr. Beer, you seem to be a very smart guy, and you seem to be a nice enough guy.
Thank you, Senator. You seem smart as well.
Object.
Don't.
That was the chairman, not me.
Don't you think your hyperbolic statements undermine your credibility?
What hyperbolic statement did I make?
On February the 11th, 2026, you posted on Bluesky, quote, my words, or your words, not mine. The Democrats' video telling service members to ignore illegal orders didn't go far enough. They should have also urged them to refuse unethical orders, whether illegal or not. There are many things deemed legal that are still obviously unethical, and everyone should hold themselves to this higher law, end quote. Did I read that correctly?
I believe you did. Do you disagree with it? You think people should do unethical things in their capacity?
On December the 31st of 2025, you posted to in front of God.
But wait. Do you disagree with what I said?
Let me finish my question.
I'm sorry.
Answer it, sir.
Sure.
In front of God and country, you said, quote, they, referring to Republicans, think they can troll their way into us accepting ethnic cleansing, end quote. Your words, not mine. Did I read that correctly?
That was in regard to a Department of Homeland Security post about advocating 100 million deportations. That is what DHS has tweeted from their own account. 100 million deportations would be ethnic cleansing. You would be removing 1/3 of the country. So yes, there are people within the Department of Homeland Security.
And you don't think this is hyperbolic? Give me 30 more seconds.
I think advocating 100 million deportations is
I'm having fun here,
ethnic
Mr. Chairman.
cleansing.
On February 5th, you quoted you said the following on Bluesky.
Your time's up.
These are all good, but there's no enforcement mechanism. I'm sorry. Let me try a better one. On March 2nd, you said, quote, if you rule against Trump's population purge agenda, no hyperbole there, the nativists will name you, threaten you, and come after you. These judges are much braver than the ICE agents who hide behind masks while violating the Constitution.
They are much braver. They put their names on their rulings, and they stand behind their their constitutional rulings. When I talk about population purge, I'm talking about the fact that they're trying to deport U.S.-born citizens, people born here. They are trying to deport them as well. So it's not a mass deportation agenda. It is also an agenda intended to reduce the population of the United States, including U.S.-born people.
Thank you.
These are not hyperbolic statements. I appreciate you reading my account. I appreciate
Here's
your
the good
research.
news.
What planet did you just, wait a minute, Mr. Chairman, what planet did you just parachute in from?
No. Hey, guys.
You trigger my gag reflex, Mr. Beaver.
Kennedy read several posts out loud. One accused Republicans of supporting ethnic cleansing through deportation policies. Another described immigration enforcement proposals as a population purge. Kennedy questioned whether those statements were exaggerated and whether such language undermined the witness's credibility. The witness defended the comments, arguing that large-scale deportation proposals could dramatically reshape the country and that strong language was justified. He insisted the statements reflected genuine concerns about immigration policy. That is when the exchange escalated. Kennedy pushed back hard, suggesting the rhetoric crossed into hyperbole. The tension in the room was clear as the senator continued reading posts and pressing the witness for clarification. At one point, Kennedy delivered the line that quickly began circulating across political media, asking the witness what planet he had parachuted in from. The remark drew reactions from those present and underscored just how heated the exchange had become. Now, stepping back from the moment, here is the larger issue. Immigration policy is one of the most contentious debates in American politics right now. Questions about enforcement, border security, deportations, and the limits of federal versus local authority are all central to the national conversation. From a conservative perspective, many Americans believe immigration law must be enforced consistently and that the federal government has a clear constitutional responsibility to secure the border. They also argue that extreme rhetoric can make constructive debate more difficult. At the same time, others argue that immigration enforcement policies must consider humanitarian concerns and the realities of the current system. These are complex issues, and hearings like this show just how sharply divided Washington remains. But moments like this one also reveal something else about the political process. Congressional hearings are designed to test ideas, challenge witnesses, and force public accountability. When strong claims are made, senators are expected to question them directly. And in this case, Senator Kennedy clearly believed those claims deserved a strong challenge. If you want to watch the full breakdown of this exchange and more moments like it from Capitol Hill, make sure you stay tuned right here on the Capitol Current. Before you go, take a second to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our coverage of major political hearings, congressional clashes, and the debates shaping America's future. And if you found this breakdown helpful, check out the next video on your screen where we cover another explosive moment from Capitol Hill that is already making headlines. Thanks for watching the Capitol Current.